Well, did you know that talking about health issues with your doctor could be used against you and lead to insurance denial? Disability and injury lawyer Nainesh Kotak from Kotak Law joins us with more. And this is one of those things when you're checking off the checklist of, oh, you know, I've had this, beware.
Yes, you should. You know, this catches many people by surprise. Often new employees, they take a new position, and if they're working for sort of less than a year before the disability insurance policy takes effect, something may come up, stress at work, difficulty with the boss. They become very anxious and they make an application for long-term disability benefits. And lo and behold, they may be denied because of having a pre-existing condition. Because what most policies say is that if you claim for disability within the first year that your policy became effective, they'll look at a 90-day period up until when it became effective. And if you saw a doctor for the same or related condition, or if you took medication for it, they're going to deny you. And I see this more often with claims that are mental health related. For example, someone may have an underlying depression condition and they're taking medication for it on a standard basis. They get a new job. They get very anxious with that new job. It becomes very difficult. And they go off for anxiety. The insurance company says, hey, it's the same condition.
But
we don't think it is. And the one good thing is courts will interpret a contract in favor of the insured person because they didn't draft it. And to be aware of that. And that sometimes affects the health benefits too, because there's a waiver of premium. And if you're approved for long-term disability benefits, there's usually a waiver. You don't have to pay the premiums for that. And the employer goes along with that. But what happens is if you're not approved for long-term disability benefits, the employer is going to go to the employee and say, hey, well, you pay your portion of that cost. And that could be quite significant. So what happens, what I've seen, is people can't afford it. Now they're losing their health benefits as well.
Okay, but you don't want to tell people don't go to your doctor, right? So what do you do?
Yeah, of course not. I think it's one of simply being very aware. Obviously, if you have a health condition and you need to get your prescriptions filled, you have no choice but to do that. But sometimes you could negotiate with an employer. If the employer is luring you from another job, hey, we like you, we want to hire you, and you've got some underlying condition, you could negotiate with them, say, look, get me a special policy in play. If you really want me, I think I'm okay, but if you really want me, get me a special policy that will cover my condition. People might.
And I guess you say this not during the interview process, but when you have the job.
When you have the job, or when you're about to be when you're about to be hired. A lot of people will be afraid to do that. I think it's just a matter of awareness. And also, look, let's say you're talking to your doctor. You've been working, for getting close to that 1 year period. And if you can put off that claim for a couple of weeks so they don't look at the pre-existing anymore, that might be another strategy. But sometimes it's just simply just be aware and that these denials could occur.
Right. We have about a minute left, but this comes up often in travel insurance as well.
It does. When people buy travel insurance, you book a trip, the travel agent, they're so quick. Would you like to buy this? And often they don't even ask you the questions about pre-existing. But, and we don't remember the times we went to the doctor about something, or we may not think it's so related. I think one strategy would be if you have a suspicion that, look, I've had a gallbladder operation, in the past, or I've had, something else, just tell them, okay, look, is there any pre-existing, is there a pre-existing restriction? If there is, say, look, fine, if we're looking at a 1 year period, I'll give you a consent. You look at my records and decide what premium you're going to charge me. Because the worst thing is you pay for that. You're stuck on an island somewhere and you need a flight back home, you need treatment, and they all of a sudden say, hey, pre-existing. Or they bring you back and then they charge you for whatever money they paid. So I think it's important just to ask those questions. Am I covered? Am I covered or not?
Okay. Check the fine print. Thanks very much for coming in.
You're very welcome.
Good advice today.
Thank you.